I have Vinay Lalwani, my friend, here with me to read Capricorn Man. Thank you, Vinay, for taking time out and doing this with us.
Absolute pleasure, sir.
Uh, I do know that you've had the book with you for a while and you've put it to good use for many purposes, besides knowing yourself and getting to know your friends or to be friends. I wanted to ask you, are there any highlights out of the book that were totally bang on for you, that you felt that this is where, Chetan really got me?
I would point specifically to components such as when we talk about the ambition of the Capricorn man. That is something that I do absolutely on a lot of levels agree with, even to the extent when it says that there are certain things that may be necessarily, in the short term may necessarily be out of his reach, but he still aspires to actually get hold of them. That is something I do relate myself to. I've set myself. There have been times where I've set myself unachievable or so-called seemingly unachievable targets.
Excellent.
But I'm like, okay, give it time. I'm sure somewhere or the other I'll be able to get hold of it. It's like aim for the stars and landing on the moon.
Wow. That was actually going to be my next question, but I'm very glad that you brought this up. I want to also ask you, I've said that in many ways that there is a certain cynical side to a Capricorn man which only he is aware of, and I have noticed that. Do you see or find yourself at times being like that, maybe cynical about certain subjects, topic, quite anal about certain things?
It'd be a lie if I say that I'm completely not cynical as a person. I am, but I think that's a standard characteristic with every practical human being, irrespective of their sun sign. Primarily because that's something that comes naturally. On some aspect of life or the other, you will have a cynical approach. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. It does to a great extent. Yeah.
But I may not completely agree to to the extent of what the book may perceive the cynical side of a Capricorn man.
I've known you for a while. I've spent time with you. We've partied together.
Of course.
And I do see that. I do see that slight cynical side of you sometimes, which you very carefully have, stored away somewhere. I see that. I really like that because I think, in my opinion, there is that much of a quotient which is really required to be cynical, to get your objectives achieved, or to have your own point of view. What's wrong with that? I mean, I'm completely in agreement that one should have that also as a side, because that really gets you somewhere in life. Yeah?
Cynicism on a lot of levels gives you the ability to question.
Yeah.
Which is very essential in anything that you may be trying to achieve.
Absolutely. In fact, I said this once that, if Mahatma Gandhi didn't get cynical about totally that, we want freedom, I don't think he would have achieved it.
You would never have achieved it.
Yeah. Thank you again, Vinay, for doing this with us.
Thank
really,
you,
really
sir.
appreciate
It was an absolutely wonderful opportunity for me as well to actually have come here and gotten down to reading something like this. It's a very, very interesting experience, and I thank you a lot for actually having accorded the opportunity.
Thanks, bro. You earned your beer.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers. Capricorn, 22nd December to 19th January. Capricorn Man. Remember the most attractive girl in class? The one who wooed your best friend? And then one fine day, she got tired of him simply because he spoke only about himself. But our dear charmer wasn't even a bit upset about it. In fact, it gave him an opening to seek out the next pretty face the very next day. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the quintessential Capricorn man. A typical Capricornian male will be charming and ebullient, yet intense to the core and often somber. And then there's his incorrigible habit of covering up all his feelings. He will continuously make and break your impressions of him. Let's go figure him out. How can you identify a Capricorn man in a crowd? Loud, flamboyant, center of attraction, with oodles of charm. That's the briefest description of any conventional Capricorn man. This helps you identify him too. He moves in flashy cars, stands surrounded by people, usually women, and is the chief talker in a group. While his words will be directed at one, his eyes will be making out with another, maybe a woman. Although a womanizer, he's a light-hearted one and a gentleman at that. He will delight women, and men too, with his suaveness and charm rather than force. If you observe closely, you will find him talking mostly about himself, with topics ranging from his latest car to his latest girlfriend. Generally, Capricorn men are aggressive in their attitude, with the exception of a mere 20 to 25%. What are the key features of his personality? The most noticeable thing about a Capricorn man is his attention-seeking nature. No matter where he is, with a small group of friends or at a large party, he likes to be noticed. He makes sure when he arrives at a social event that he has arrived. There is also much of a brag in a Capricorn male. He likes to talk explicitly about his achievements and successes. Don't mistake this for low self-esteem. This man has confidence by the ton, but bragging is his way of playing the power game. But whatever he talks about, and however much he may brag, a Capricorn man has the quality of attracting admirers and listeners by the hordes. He is great at entertaining people, but as all the fun comes at a cost, you should be prepared to bear his mood swings. When friendly, he will be one of the most charming beings and the funniest of men. A prankster at heart, his friends are often subject to leg-pulling and practical jokes. But when in a black mood, he can kill with his sarcasm and slay with his anger. He has the most sarcastic wit amongst all zodiac signs. He can get zany with his humor, which can slice you like a razor at the drop of a hat. Although he is confident and egoistic, he lacks inner strength. He is an easy prey to superstition, beliefs, and rituals. At times, a Capricorn man will take devious paths to pacify his fallacies. There is something a Capricorn guy shares with his female counterpart. Very unlikely as a comparison may sound, there is a similarity between these two goats. Both have a beauty that grows in them. They are serious and often somber in their appearance in their youth, but with age they blossom, making the term aging gracefully fit them like a glove. How is he on the following aspects? Appearance. I have observed 6 out of every 10 Capricorn men to have an oval face. They are usually very formally dressed in jackets and suits, replete with hats. They are the ones who can walk down a beach in a suit and still look extremely charming and never out of place. Ambition. The Capricorn man is overambitious and will end up setting unachievable targets and goals for himself. The aggressive kind of Capricorns are also very competitive and will stoop to any level to attain success. Being extremely persuasive, he uses his charm to great advantage. His personal ego makes him see a battle in every situation, one that has to be won at any cost. Ego, self-respect. The Capricorn male has tremendous ego, something that surpasses his already high level of self-respect, but you may or may not be able to spot it. If he is doing something, he will make it clear he is doing it for you, while actually he would be doing it for himself. He often uses his girlfriend or wife or family members as an excuse to get what he wants. His ego doesn't let him take criticism well either. When criticized, he is likely to fight and argue to prove his point or simply give excuses to cover up his mistakes. Responsibility. A Capricorn man is extremely responsible and dependable by nature, but sometimes his overambitiousness comes in way of fulfilling his responsibilities. But still, you will never come across a Capricorn man who forgets or shirks his duty. His sense of duty is heightened by his love for his family. He takes the welfare of his entire family and sometimes the extended family as well as his business. More often than not, he prefers a life partner who is ready to share his sense of responsibility with him. Etiquettes. Given his inherent charm and love for fine dressing, our man likes to put on his best face in any social setting. You will find him maintaining high standards in etiquettes. He expects the same standards from others too. Social decorum is high priority on his list, and his wife and children are foremost in the line of people he wishes to train. Don't expect him to tolerate shabby clothes or runny noses. And if you are planning to go non-trendy or casual to his formal party, better keep yourself locked away. He will prefer your absence to a conspicuous you in a shoddy avatar, that too at his social gathering. What is his approach towards life? It would be incorrect to say everything. This man has desires that go beyond everything. The word enough does not exist in his lexicon. Be it success, material comforts, love or happiness, he wants all and more of it. He must have the best of everything life has to offer, and he will stop at nothing to achieve it. His ambition drives him from one milestone to the next. I don't want to make him sound callous, and he isn't either. His ambition is his own thing, and he will never deliberately hurt anyone in his uphill climb. He also has immense patience. He knows he has to take one step at a time, and that every step takes him closer to his goal. No matter how much hard work or sacrifice is required, a Capricorn guy will do everything possible to achieve success in life. And what next? Will he rest? Not likely. He would have set another goal for himself by then, and he will be on his way again. How does he score on the following points? Cynicism. He is one of the most cynical men of all zodiac signs, but beneath this cynicism lies a romantic heart. A Capricorn man is likely to hide his emotions behind a mask of cynicism, but if you look deeper, you will find him as steeped in romance as a Shakespearean hero. Once drawn out of his shell, which can just be shyness or reserve, he will open up to show a tender heart full of dreams. And like all dreams, his dreams too close with happy endings. Suspicion, jealousy. He is also extremely suspicious by nature and very protective of his family. But when it comes to jealousy, though quite jealous himself, he abhors the idea, and so playing tricks to make him jealous is a short way of losing him. Dishonesty, infidelity. If there is a man who knows his way with women, it's him. A hardcore womanizer, you cannot be in a relationship with him and not feel insecure. He is a natural charmer, and women get easily attracted to him. In such situations, matters of honesty and loyalty are definitely not top priority for him, but once committed, he will stay committed. Hardships. Not as charming as he is in other matters, a Capricorn man cannot take hardships well. But being an achiever, he will make sincere efforts towards overcoming the obstacles to change his situation or fulfill his responsibilities. Success and failure. With success, he is loud and flamboyant. He will make sure everyone he knows hears about his success story. Don't be surprised if the party he throws is not in proportion with what he has achieved. But Capricorn men are poor losers. They cannot accept defeat, gracefully or otherwise. A Capricorn man's failure will be accompanied with a long list of explanations and excuses. Host. Added to the inherent charm of a Capricorn man are his self-bred qualities like grace and meticulousness. All these together make him a very good host, one who is detailed in his organizing and pays special attention towards the comfort of his guests. The laid-back kind or the passive kind of Capricorn men, however, are a little more casual and less detailed. Guest. As a guest, the Capricorn man believes he is the end-all and be-all. He will make sure his entry at any event, big or small, is dramatic. He wants people to not just sit up and take notice, but also appreciate his presence. Since he is a real foodie, he would try all kinds of cuisines from 5-star gourmet to roadside delicacies. The best way to keep him happy at your party is to offer him a delectable meal and of course good company. How does he handle difficult situations? Being extremely emotional and sensitive, a Capricorn man gets deeply affected by quarrels or disagreements. He enjoys keeping everyone around him happy. Having said that, I would like to add that he is not averse to the idea of creating scenes, so if angry or upset, someone is sure to meet the rough side of his tongue, if not his elbow. He totally believes in keeping his accounts straight. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. That usually is the unforgiving Capricorn man for you. What is his characteristic weakness? A Capricorn guy is a complete control freak. He likes to control everything around him, especially his loved ones. He wants to know what is happening in their lives and minds and will be seriously hurt if someone he loves takes a major decision without informing him, so much so that he can get childish about it. His controlling nature at times borders on being dictatorial. He is also distrustful of people. His aloofness becomes all the more forceful if he finds himself with people he cannot trust. He cannot believe that goodness exists and that people can be humane. He is always looking for ulterior motives, and this affects his trust in people to a great extent. Blessed with good looks and pleasant appearance, Capricorn men can be rather conceited. The importance with which they treat themselves tends to make them vain and arrogant. They can also turn obstinate and short-tempered if rubbed the wrong way. Their patience is selective. It works in their favor only when it comes to achieving goals, otherwise it can run out rather fast. Is there more to his persona? It isn't easy to get up close and personal with this guy. He likes being sociable, will behave in a gentlemanly way, and will also show a degree of chivalry, but when it comes to looking into his eyes right up to his heart, he reserves the privilege for a select few. He can turn into a turtle and get into the hardest of shells to shun the world. He lives in a cocoon to which very few people have access. And I find this to be his most peculiar trait. Lest I am blamed for being contradictory, let me explain. A Capricorn guy is funny, charming, and likes to talk and connect with people. At the same time, he isn't someone whom you can describe as a people's person. There is a thin yet rather strong veil between him and those around him. A veil which he wants to keep so that his true self remains behind. And in this trait lies the Capricorn man's real fear. He is scared of getting emotionally hurt or his feelings being ridiculed, and so he prefers keeping his own counsel. Here is a man who loves to be praised. He likes nothing better than a conversation with a decent amount of compliments, for him, thrown in. But that doesn't mean you can have your way with him through flattery. No, sir. He wants genuine admiration and loads of it. This includes everything from the smartness to his looks to his bikes, cars, and yes, even girlfriends. Given his ambitiousness, he is an early starter and at a young age will start dreaming big. With time, as he achieves the innumerous milestones he has set for himself, he is likely to become more relaxed and lively. With every success, his energy level gets a boost. When I said he is overambitious, I don't mean that his ambitions are rampant. No way. He is, on the contrary, very organized and particular about the goals he sets for himself. He knows how to take each day as it comes and how to achieve one goal at a time with determination and dedication. With a sharp eye, he knows how to get the best and most of every opportunity. And this is what makes Capricorns good entrepreneurs. And because of this, you will rarely come across a Capricorn man who is not successful. But however serious he is about his ambitions, he takes life easy every now and then, giving himself room to enjoy and have some serious fun. How should one deal effectively with him? To deal effectively with a Capricorn man, be his yes man. He likes people who agree with him and hates those who don't. Since he is incapable of handling criticism, it is best to avoid it, as you will be met with lot of explanations and excuses. He cannot accept his mistakes or defeat easily either, and so it is better not to look down upon his failures. The best way to be in a peaceful relationship with a Capricorn man is to be submissive and supportive, given to his charms, and accept all his excuses as genuine. As a wife, you must realize early on that his family means a lot to him. He will want you to be good at every role you play within his family circle. Since he is a food lover, make sure you attend your cookery classes regularly, as he might want you to cook every delicacy under the sun, or at least be aware of his likes and dislikes if you plan to get a cook or chef. A Capricorn man is also very decisive about matters of the heart. If things don't work out, he will walk out of a relationship, even marriage, and close that chapter of his life forever. The term second chance doesn't exist for this man. How does he handle money matters? A Capricorn man is very careful with his money, but he is compassionate and not one to shy away from charities and donations. If you have borrowed money from him, he will be extremely patient with you. But his patience comes with an expiry date. He knows how to get his money out if need be. But interestingly, if the amount he has given is negligible compared to his wealth, he would generously write off his debts, of course not before letting the borrower express his deep gratitude for the same. A Capricorn male is one person who knows the power of money. For him, money is a tool that allows him to be independent. He craves for the power that comes by virtue of being wealthy rather than the actual monetary aspect. How is he on the professional front? Given his leadership qualities, a Capricorn man makes for a good entrepreneur. However, the non-entrepreneur types tend to be rather laid back. He also likes to lead by example, so trust him to create milestones for others to follow. He can take his followers along with him as he scales new heights of success. He is also extremely competitive and hardworking. He will never fall short of effort, and the only thing that might deter him from achieving his ambitions is destiny. It is important to know that a Capricorn guy can be extremely down to earth. He has a steady connect with reality, and all his desires are therefore practical. You won't find him setting impossible targets or giving empty talks about his plans. When he has decided on achieving something, be sure he has planned everything in his mind from a very pragmatic angle. How is he in various relationship roles? Capricorn men are generally mama's boys and have healthy relations with their family members. As a spouse, this man is practical and approachable. Of course, you will have to put up with his flirtatiousness and inevitable charm. But that shouldn't be a problem for a woman with the right attitude. He would expect you to do a tight rope walk. He expects his wife to be charming and presentable, an excellent cook if possible, and a good homemaker. His wife should be a dutiful daughter-in-law and a perfect mother to his children. And in return, he will be a responsible husband who will provide for the entire family. And with all this, his love for you will strengthen. He is loving and caring towards his children, although he may not be too devoted or doting. As a father, a Capricorn man can be a disciplinarian. He likes to show his kids how strong the rod is every now and then, but he will also put his children's needs above his own. As a girlfriend, it takes a lot to keep him enticed in love, as his attention span is generally short. That doesn't mean he will not commit himself, but he needs more space for himself. He likes challenges, so the more unconquerable you are, the more forcefully he will pursue you. Overall, a Capricorn male is demanding in every relationship. He won't play second fiddle to anybody, hates being ignored, and has to be at the center of everything. As long as he is able to control people around him, he is totally committed and dedicated. People get sucked into the whirlpool of his charms, and they tend to overlook his shortcomings. But a relationship with a Capricorn man can go sour if you disagree with him or oppose him, or if you have displeased him. He is not likely to forget it for a long time. How is he when alone? The cynic that some are, the Capricorn male is prone to bouts of irritability and will withdraw deeper into his shell, becoming completely unapproachable. Words of advice: when he wants to be alone, leave him alone. Unless, of course, you like being derided and at the receiving end of a barrage of sarcastic criticism. The lone Capri man is like the Sphinx. Once he's fixed something in his rigid mind, he is just as immovable, unwilling to express or share any of his locked up thoughts. When alone, he would brood and cook up even more negative thoughts, another side effect of his being a cynic, and continue with them during the course of the day, even after getting back to his normal routine. His periods of "get out of my face and leave me alone" can be quite long, sometimes lasting even a few days. But given time, he'll come around, behaving totally normal, exhibiting no regret or explanation for his hibernation. How is he when in love? A Capricorn guy is a romantic. There, now I have gone and trapped myself by making such a statement. It's true, he is a romantic, but his definition of romance is slightly different from the rest of us. And that's why I said I have trapped myself, because now I will have to delve into what makes him a romantic, albeit a different one. You will hardly ever notice a Capricorn man in love. Not because he can't be in love, but because he won't show it. He will not shout from rooftops or pour his story into eager ears. On the contrary, he will be very subtle and even shy in displaying his love. But on the inside, he is steaming with untold fantasies and bursting with energy. If a Capricorn guy is in love with you, you might find the usual romantic stuff missing, only to be replaced with gentle concern. He may forget your birthday, but he will never forget to kiss you goodnight. He may criticize your culinary skills, but he will lap up everything that's served. A shawl draped over you as you doze on a chilly afternoon, a phone call in the middle of the day to inquire if your cold is better, and many such small yet significant gestures will be his way of telling you he loves you. Although he is not a possessive lover, he will be protective of you. He may not recite poetry or write love letters, but he will hold you in his strong arms when you are down and out. And as he grows, his love will grow too. And you are sure to have an admirer in your husband even when you are 60. Once in a relationship with him, you will realize his love is not to be measured with the number of times he says, "I love you," or the price tags on his gifts. But his love shows in the way he tucks his credit card in your purse when you go shopping, or when he shushes and rocks the baby to sleep without waking you up. What does he look for in his partner? This is one man who wants it all. A perfect home to come to at the end of the day, well-fed and clean, well-behaved children, and a perfectly dressed wife with a welcoming smile, who's got a delightful spread for him. The "I'm worth it all" look of the egocentric Capricorn man calls for a liaison with someone who can accept his chronic mood swings while still being the perfect woman. Capricorn men like to be in charge of everything that happens in their domain and appreciate the company of ladies who can hold their own in the outside world but gladly accept who the real boss is. No, I don't want them to come across as some kind of tyrant. Your efforts won't go unnoticed or unappreciated. A woman who gives him what he wants will have a very pleased and appreciative man by her side for life. While dating him, you should never forget his definition of romance. It saves a lot of trouble in the long run. He will take you to the best restaurants, buy you gifts, whisper sweet nothings, and be very funny and amiable. But it is likely that this behavior won't continue beyond the courtship period. I am not implying that this guy is a fake. He's not. He means every word and every gesture, but he is too practical to continue this mushy love once he gets into a steady relationship. It is for you to understand how things change as the relationship progresses and accept the transformation. He won't actually give you any cause to complain, as he will be a good companion to you, with his feet firmly rooted. Remember his constant reality checks. Here is a man who knows how to treat a girl like a lady, and it is for you to behave as much ladylike as you can. Be presentable on your dates, manicured fingers at all. In fact, it would be better if you treat every date with him as your first one. He likes and appreciates pleasant appearances and proper manners. Your Capricorn date might seem shy and reserved in the first few meetings. Don't form a negative impression of him based on that. Like I said before, he prefers sitting composedly in his shell and needs a gentle tug to get him out. You will have to believe in him and his dreams if you wish to have a long-term relationship with him. Once he is on a certain comfort level with you, he will floor you with amusing anecdotes and interesting conversation. Like mentioned before, he will also indulge in light-hearted flirting with other good-looking women. Although this is no reason to doubt his loyalty towards you, you can't remain complacent either. Remember, this guy is a slow starter. He will think 100 times before committing himself and prefers keeping his options open. It is one thing to have him in love with you, and quite a task to keep him in love. Compatibility quotient. Compatibility is a much used term in behavioral study. A Capricorn male is undoubtedly popular for his flamboyant style and persona, but does that make him compatible in a long-term relationship? Find out for yourself. Capricorn Man and Aries woman. 8 on 10. A workable combination, but both will have to work a lot to make it a happy one. Expect lots of sparks. The Capricorn guy needs to be more expressive to meet up the vivacity of the Aries woman, or at least be able to put up with it. And she will have to make do with his usual reserved way of life. Taurus woman. 8 on 10. An excellent match for both. The Taurus girl knows how to trust and love a man, while the Capricorn guy knows how to make a woman feel secure and comfortable. She also has the ability to make him relax in her company with her good humor. Gemini woman. 5 on 10. Both will have to work a long way to be on the same plane. It is impossible to rein in the free spirit of a Gemini, and the Capricorn guy will find this disconcerting. Cancer woman. 7 on 10. Once the Capricorn guy is able to match the Cancer girl's emotional quotient to some extent, this relationship can work out to be simply perfect. He needs to be more expressive of his feelings and more understanding of hers. Leo woman. 8 on 10. A Leo woman has qualities that the Capricorn guy hates. For instance, excessive socializing. While he is way too predictable to suit her fancy, I give them an 8. He will love her for her determination, and she will appreciate his dependability. Virgo woman. 9 on 10. A great match for both. These two are quite compatible as they understand each other implicitly. Each can act as an anchor and a source of support for the other. Libra woman. 5 on 10. Again, a midway deal. While both love the nicer things in life, the level of extravagance in a Libra girl can be a little too much for the Capricorn guy to digest. Moreover, she is likely to get bored of his somber nature sooner than later. But with compromises, this can be a workable relationship. Scorpio woman. 9 on 10. The Scorpio girl is the Capricorn guy's real dream girl. She has the right amount of vivacity to make him comfortable, and she can win him over easily with her devotion and loyalty. He, in turn, will give her a strong shoulder to lean on. Sagittarius woman. 4 on 10. Trouble is likely to brew between the two after the courtship period. The essential differences in their personalities will make them take offense at the drop of a hat. Overall, a difficult relationship. Capricorn woman. 7 on 10. This relationship can go a long way. Both are intense and dependable by nature with the right amount of humor. But he will have to rein his hovering eye, while she will have to be a little less possessive. The only thing that can make this relationship work is effective communication. Aquarius woman, 4 on 10. Both would require putting in extra efforts to make this alliance work. A Capricorn man may find the Aquarian free spirit and feminism a bit too much to take to. Pisces woman, 9 on 10. Whoa, now we're talking. This is a woman the Capricorn guy will love, since she will never try to dominate him. She can be completely feminine and dependent on him, and he is capable of taking care of her fragile self. A role she enjoys playing, even if that's not her true self in some cases. This relationship would be ideal. Famous Capricorn men personalities: Dhirubhai Ambani, Hrithik Roshan, Tiger Woods, Elvis Presley, Salman Khan.